Welcome to the Influencer Show with your host, Trishawn Ben Salmi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Influencer Show, where I interview people who can help influence the way you live life in a number of different ways. I'm your host, C7, and today we have a very, very special guest for us, Ben Green. So if you'd like to introduce yourself to listeners and tell them a little bit about you.
Yes, thank you, Trey. Thank you very much for having me on the show. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're tuning in. Welcome to the Influence Show. Thank you, Trey. So my name is Ben Green. I am a child practitioner, fitness professional, wellbeing coach, author, founder and director of Activation Fitness, Health and Wellbeing, previously known as Activate Fitness Camp. We are National Diversity Award winners 2017, Heathrow European Diversity Award shortlist nominees. And wellbeing influencers.
That is absolutely amazing. Why don't you tell the listeners why you do what you do?
Do you know, Trey, this goes back to when I was young, when I was growing up in school. I'd say I struggled academically in school, and I used fitness and sport as a tool to help me engage. I wasn't the best behaved, and that helped me channel my unwanted behaviours into something positive. So growing up, I played sport at a really good level. So played badminton at a good level. Was athletics as well. And I was involved in a major car accident when I was 19. I'd received some big head injuries, and that put me out of action for a good year to a year and a half. So I received some big head injuries. Physically, I was unable to take part of any sport. Psychologically, I was quite damaged as well. So I had to go for a lot of therapy to get me back on the right path. And after that, once I felt I was a bit recovered, I went to America to work in America at CCUSA. So I was at a day camp. I was using fitness as a tool, again, to engage young people from the prior backgrounds. And I just see the positive impact this had on their lives. So I've done this for about 6 months, come back to the UK, decided to go back and study. So I started my first degree in youth and community work. So I've done that. And my first placement was at a place called Motivations Project in Romford. And I was in charge of the fitness element of the program. And I designed a program to go with my dissertation there as well. So I'd done a program, it was based on life coaching through exercise. So I embedded this within the charity, and they put it on their perspectives as well. So they were selling it to schools. So I was getting more schools in, more pupils engaged in the program. And then from there, I started my second degree, a child and youth studies degree. And I then decided to launch Activate Fitness Camp. And then from there, we just designed loads of different services. First started for public services, just fitness camps in the park for children ages 10 to 16 initially. And then we went down to 5 to 10. Then we introduced family camps, adult camps, and then it's just taken off, and we've got developed into education sector. So we're just rocketing now. Now we've rebranded, so we're offering loads of different services within education and the public sector as well.
That sounds absolutely amazing. That's truly an inspirational story as a whole, really. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Trey.
Could you share with the listeners what you would say has been the biggest influence on you that you wish you had known sooner?
All right. The biggest influence on me. And this is something that's come from your mum. Okay, some of your mum said to me, and your mum is one of the biggest influences that's on my life, and it's the things that she has said to me. Because for the viewers, Trey's mum she's my mentor, my coach as well, and she has really guided me guiding me to be on the right path, personally and business as well. Your mum's always said to me the power of having the team around you, having your team. Who is your team? And for a long while, I had people around me, but I wasn't using them. I wouldn't say I was a control freak, but I didn't let go. You know what I mean? So I think really knowing the power of your team around you and being able to delegate and go on a journey with people rather than just keep to yourself.
Definitely, that is actually so very powerful because, like, in life, yes, some of us might want to achieve something, but in order to achieve that, we may have to let go of either past relationships that no longer serve us at that current point in time.
Absolutely. And it's a difficult thing to do, especially if you've created something from scratch, and it's not to say that you don't trust people with it. I don't know. It's just like, for me, I just struggled just to let go. I wanted people to be a part of the journey, but for me, it's just letting go. But that come with maturity, as a businessman, and maturing, just in general in life.
That's actually so very true, and I totally agree with that. How do you prefer to influence others to change the way that they live their lives for the better?
Right. Okay. So, from would you say what in my area of expertise?
Yeah.
So, if I was going to work with somebody on a one-to-one basis, the first thing you need to tap into is mindset. Okay. So if you're going to if I'm going to go and work with someone, and we're looking at like a movement plan, something that's going to benefit them physically, you need to make sure they are right there first. Yeah. You need to get rid of bad habits, and sort of reprogram. So reprogram, making sure they are ready for, I'll say, the new journey. So that is, So I think that's the main thing. I think it is, is making sure they're right in the mindset. I think that's with everything, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you introduce new things into your routine, for example, like nutrition plans, people want to lose. For example, there's a lot of people they want to introduce nutrition plans into their lifestyle because they want to lose weight, but they're just using it as this is a quick fix. You know what I mean? But they just they're adding something in it, but they're not changing anything. They're not changing the way they think.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's rather than it just being a diet. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Yeah. So with a lifestyle change, you need to make sure you're changing psychologically as well.
And it's actually really great because, obviously, how you then not only look at the physical aspect but also the mental aspect. Because in today's day and age, many people they want the ideal body, their dream body, but then they're not willing to put in the work both inside and outside because loads of them they work out and things like that. But then after you've done the workout, what are you then going to do to help strengthen you mentally as well?
That's it. No, that's it. And there's a lot of people. They may look good.
Yeah.
You see a lot of celebrities. You see a lot of athletes. So social media. You see a lot of people on social media, and this is a very dangerous thing. You see a lot of people on social media. Some people so chiseled, and they're really pleasing to the eye. But what you don't see is how much they're starving themselves, how much they're restricting themselves, how much they restricting themselves socially as well. And obviously we're in there's with the recent pandemic, we're not allowed to socialise at the moment, but in general they don't go out. It's just that is their life. You know what I mean? So it really consumes them.
Yeah.
So again, it's having that. It's the balance. So when you see when you see adverts online, I said the Instagram, the Facebooks, it's to sell things, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just the whole facade that people then see on social media, and they think, oh, he did this, I can do this. But then the person who actually has those results, maybe they've done something completely different that you are either unaware of or you
Yeah.
just don't want to do.
Yeah, totally understand that. Yeah, totally agree with that. That was a good question, Trey.
Thank you. Could you like share with the listeners maybe like some words of motivation, like that you do personally to keep motivated during moments of crisis?
So should we talk about the crisis at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one thing is staying connected with people, and that's very difficult at this time because obviously we're restricted with contact. So make sure you utilize the power of social media, like we're doing now, using
Yeah.
like Zoom or Microsoft Teams, or or just using your phone, WhatsApp. Use the power of social media to connect with people, because it can be a lonely place if you isolate and you get yourself into a bad routine of not seeing anybody, and that's where you can get inside your head. Yeah, so that's one. So utilize the power of technology to keep in contact with people. Number two, I would say keeping yourself active. I know obviously gyms are closed at the moment, but there are so many free fitness videos online or workouts and trainers you can access on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube. So utilize them. They're free. You can do them in your own home. What else? Nutrition. Okay, so don't overeat. Okay, we're not going to be as active. Okay, so you're not going to be burning as many calories, and sometimes when we're in a low mood, we tend to eat some more.
Yeah.
So be mindful of how much food you're consuming during this time as well, because when we go back to normal and you've pulled on the weight, okay, it's going to have a negative impact on the mindset. Okay, you think, oh, you're going to feel a bit down in yourself, and you feel like you're back to square one with things. Yeah, so just be mindful of your nutrition as well.
Definitely, and I think that's like really important because I was talking to someone earlier about this, actually just like nutrition as a whole and how important it is and how it plays like a large, it has a large part in your life because like regardless of whether you take your fitness seriously, nutrition is going to affect you in some way or another. So it's just about staying on top of the things because at the end of the day, the food is what sustains our bodies.
Absolutely, yeah, totally agree with you. And one last thing is study. Okay, like you're gonna have so much spare time in your hands, so it's time to better yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, find some free courses online, study, improve your outlook, improve your knowledge base of an area, that whatever field you're working in or what field you aspire to be in, and plan ahead. I know we're still in the unknown of where, when we integrate back into society, when we're going back to work. However, you can still plan. You still can forecast your thoughts out there. Yeah.
Definitely. And I really do urge that you listeners are taking notes on the golden nuggets that Ben Green has shared so far. Ben, could you share what is your passion?
My passion. Do you know what? And it sounds really cliche. My passion. I like to help people. And I just feel that this is what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? And that sounds really cliche, but I've done it since the age of 15. I've been working in youth work since the age of 15. So my passion is to help people, bring people together, and just to improve people's lifestyles. That is my passion. It's my work, but it's my passion as well. To me, it's not just a job for me. It's my life. It's my life's work.
That is absolutely amazing. I really do want to just point out something that you said there because then you was then able to turn your passion into your work because then it doesn't really seem like work. It seems like you're just having fun every day as a whole.
No, that's it. And I just feel that for me, it's got a lot deeper meaning to it. And again, it's just from the traumas I've been through growing up, from my accident, and my mental health. it's my why. And people say, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? So that's sort of like my why.
That is absolutely amazing. Yeah. If you had let's say you had a megaphone and you could say one thing to the world that would have a lasting influence, what would it be and why?
What would it be? Okay. So let me have a think about this one, Trey. So my mantra is inspiration plus motivation plus dedication equals activation. Yeah, so it's just like a little equation. So that is if I've got my microphone out, that is my equation. I would say to the world because I think it's to achieve action. Okay, the first point of the process is being inspired by something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then from there, you need to be motivated. You need to be motivated to take action. Yeah, and then you need to stick to it. That's your dedication part. So it's inspiration plus motivation plus dedication equals activation.
Definitely.
So yeah, so like I said before, is to start with anything in life, you need to be inspired to get going. Yeah. Once you've got that inspiration there, to go to the next thing, you need to be motivated in yourself to do it. And if you want to see results from whatever you're doing, you need to be dedicated to whatever you're doing. And then from there, the end result you'll be activating in whatever you do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I find that really, really amazing how then you was then able to turn your mantra into the name of your business, and it's really, really amazing, really.
Yeah, and it's just sort of like the simple, I'm really passionate about that. Number 8 is my lucky number anyway. It's always been my lucky number, and for me, it's the number 8 represents for me is equality, it's diversity. If you see the number 8, it loops around. Yeah, it never breaks.
Yeah.
So it's always like the circle of life, or it's like experiential learning. Yeah, so there's a constant cycle going on. So there's a meaning to the number 8 for me as well.
Oh, that is absolutely amazing, and thank you for sharing that. I really did enjoy it.
Thank you.
Could you share with the listeners what is the biggest issue, or maybe even a problem that you're aiming to solve as an influencer in your own industry?
Oh, do you know what, Trey? I don't think I'm ever going to solve anything. I can support. I can be a voice. I can be a support network. But I never think I'm going to solve any of the issues out there. We can help to reduce them. So, for instance, like child mental health conditions, childhood obesity. So then they sort of areas we can. All I can do is ensure that I put the best services in place, and I influence as many people as possible to lead a healthier lifestyle, and put as many interventions in place as possible as well to support people. But I don't think I'm ever gonna solve these issues. I don't think anybody in the world is going to ever solve these issues. All we can do is put the support network in there to maybe reduce them, or so you can sort of signpost people to the relevant people to help.
Yeah, definitely. It's about maybe even being that guide for people if they're then open to learning new ways to help better themselves.
That's it. No, exactly that. Because there's always more than one way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's about providing people with additional resources, like with the rebrand of my new company now. I've got lots of different other professionals working in the company. So we've got wellbeing coaches, we've got yoga, we've got occupational therapists, we've got psychologists. So it's just having those people, they're ready to support anything that comes up.
Definitely, I totally agree with that. Could you like share some advice as to, like, let's say that someone's come up with a brand new idea. Let's say that it's that so-called £1 million idea.
Yeah.
What advice could you share to them at a time like now?
Trust the process. Don't steady yourself. Yeah, because this is one thing I've done when I first started Activate Fitness Camp back in the day. You sort of like naturally you're going to think ahead. You think, right. I think everyone thinks they've got £1 million idea. It's like, right, okay. Not necessarily like you're going to make money for it, like lots of money for it, but it's just like wow, right. This is going to have an impact. So my £1 million idea was about the money. Is about the impact it's going to have on society. Yeah, and sometimes, and this is how I was before, I could sort of, the word I'm looking for, I got down in myself because doors are getting closed, like basically. So you'd be knocking on the door, selling your product, telling people what you do, and no, sorry, that's not going to work. I remember once I was doing something with a TV channel, and they told me my vision wasn't current. And for me, that really knocked me because I'm like, okay, so our children's health is current, like our children's education is current, our children's well-being is current. Like, so what is not current about this being featured on your TV channel? You know what I mean? So then during that time, it was like, wow, it was a bit of a kick in the gut for me, but it's a learning experience. Okay, so that's another point. Is take any knockback you get, or any resistance you get, or if things don't go your way, take it as learning. It's not a negative thing. What are you learning from that element? What are you learning from this process? Try not to take it, and it's easier said than done. It comes with practice, because it can be a really kick in the gut. Especially if you've got this passion, you've got this dream, and you really want to have impact on society, and your people tell you, no, it's not coming, it's not going to work. So it's just sticking to your plan. Okay, don't get too ahead of yourself. Make sure you plan, action plan. Yeah, do like your 5-year plan, and that'll give you the capacity to put the essential steps in place.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that 100%. And it's definitely about that, because then as a result of you then having that self-belief in yourself, you're then able to like show up with confidence. And instead of then having to like sort of like go pick me, people then like gravitate towards you because they see that you do what you say and you basically are who you say you are. So then that way you're then able to have a larger impact because of that, not only that vulnerability, but also the brand congruency that you're showing.
Yeah, and I'll say to people, so don't be worried about being too confident. Okay, there's a difference between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah,
and that's one thing I've had to learn. Before, it was like I didn't sell myself or my products or what I was about because I didn't want to come across as cocky or arrogant, and that cost me quite a bit. This is one thing your mum's worked with me actually, Trey. She's like about being more self-confident and really like selling what you do. It's not being cocky. It's not being arrogant. It's just what you've done. It's what you achieved and what you, and it's just using that to help people. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't sell yourself short. Yeah, whatever you've got to bring to the table, do it with confidence, not arrogance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think that's like one thing that actually many people are like, that's why they don't often like talk with confidence, because like myself personally, like, before like we'd attend events and stuff like that, they'd ask something, maybe they'd ask like, what do you do? And I would give them just like a little bit so that it wouldn't come so because I was thinking like if I say too much it could seem like too arrogant and cocky and all things like that. but there's like a certain way to say it, so that then that way it's simply like you're stating like, this is who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I stand for, instead of saying like, this is what I am and what do you do. Because then sometimes with some people, if you then are to like, let's say that you've achieved like a whole range of things, often stating that, and you say, what do you do, it sort of like it's sort of like feels like you're talking down on the person. So it's just about the way you come across, really.
Absolutely. Yeah, but it's just nice asking people the question back, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Could you like share with the listeners, what would you say was that like so-called pivotal point along your journey, and what did it teach you?
Wow. I've had quite a few pivotal points. I think it was a year before I won the National Diversity Award, and again, it goes back to the point I was making before about people telling me my vision wasn't current, it wasn't going to work, and I was at they call it the crossroads. Okay, so when in your career, they say you can't always come across up against a crossroad. Yeah, and with my crossroad, I was on the verge of just leaving everything, just quitting everything, because I just thought it's not going to work. And I put in I've been doing this since I was 15. You know what I mean? So, and I was just like, right, people from above, or I saw them people at above, telling me it's not going to work. You know what I mean? That really knocked my confidence. But it was having my family around me, and my friends around me, and they just gave me a massive reality check. And we just discussed what I was going to do moving forward.
Yeah.
And it comes back to the planning. Okay, right, the vision hasn't changed. You're still on the same path. What other road are we taking? Yeah, you're still heading to the same direction, but you can just take another road, go a different way. Yeah, So that's what we done. We sort of paved another way and just carried on. And like the year after, that's when I got nominated for the National Diversity Award. And if you're watching, you know who you are, who nominated me. I think you know who nominated me as well, Trey, didn't you? Yeah, and like I said, that year, it's like we took the award home out of 22,000 organisations. And for me, it's just like, last year I was going to quit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Last year I was going to quit. And yeah, sometimes I sort of reflect on it and like get, not emotional, but you sort of think about, right, what would happen if I did? Where would I be now? You know what I mean? But again, also, I'm just so glad I've got the people around me just to ground me and really just keep me on that path. And that is really, I think that's really important for everyone, just having that support network. When you come to that pivotal point, if it's a positive pivotal point, or even if it's a negative, it's always having a network to share your thoughts and feelings with people.
Yeah, I totally agree, because then as a result of having that network, you're then like, let's say that you feel like very drained and things like that, as a result of like having that network, that team, you're then able to delegate, how you said earlier, you're then able to delegate work to others instead of you having to sort of like hold the whole company as a whole, really. Yeah,
absolutely. But I think it's just sharing, it's offloading as well, Trey, as well. Sometimes it's not down to workload, it's just literally just offloading to people who you trust, and who you think is going to give you some solid advice back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that like many of us, we kind of like take for granted, because like when we like have those friends who are like giving us advice, saying like, yeah, sometimes it may not make sense at the time, but then that advice could then be used to not only improve the way that we then go about doing things, but it could also help us in the long run, be it like making connections, the way that we just branding as a whole, and a host of other things as well.
Absolutely. So sometimes it's like maybe the information you're getting given at that time, it may not work right then. Later down the line, you feel, right, okay, yes, I remember Trey telling me that 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, any information given to you is valuable information. Um, so keep it, store it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, Ben, if you had to like be another person for one day, who would it be and why?
Oh wow. Do you know what? I would say, do you know, I would like to revisit my childhood again.
Ah.
Not say another person, because I've been thinking about this and I just don't know. I'd like to go through my childhood again. Um, and because I feel that there wasn't I'm just comparing it to the amount of support we've got now
Yes.
in society for children who struggle emotionally, who struggle academically. Um, and you know, it would have been nice. It would be nice to see if I was to be a child again in this day and age. Would I have made any progress, any other further progress academically, um, and with my emotional well-being as well, and behaviour. um, But like I say, I wouldn't say I would change anything. I would never change anything because whatever's happened in the past has shaped me today.
Mm.
Um, and like I said, everything that's happened, positive or negative, it's been a learning experience, and you gain whatever lesson happens in life. You gain from it, regardless if it's a negative thing. You sort of look at it. Okay, what have I learned from this negative experience? Uh,
Mm. Yeah.
but yeah, do you know? I would like to go back to myself as a child and
Mm.
revisit and just yeah, if I was able to be my inner child again in this day and age, would I have made any more progress or would I have had more support? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting, and I think that's really important. Just about like having that way as a result of like looking back on it and then thinking like if this was in the now, would things have changed? Because then it simply like puts into puts into perspective and kind of like puts you into like an observation mode, and it helps you to then think of like, let's say that this didn't happen, let's say that didn't happen, how and where would I be now?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you look in general in like children's health, fitness, well-being services, they're not on the same platform as adult
Yeah.
health, fitness, and well-being services at all, are they?
Mm.
So for me now, it's just about I really want to bridge the gap and raise, and again, it's just raising the awareness and raising the importance of, and these should be on the same level. They should be on the same platform. It's early intervention. Yeah, the sooner we install these healthy, routines into our future generations, the better impact we're going to have on the future.
Mm. Definitely, definitely. And I think it's about then like once you're then able to balance them out, then people then become more aware of, yes, it's good to have like good to like have that ideal body on the outside, but then if it's empty on the inside, is there really a point? So it's about then balancing out the two, so
Yeah,
that that way you're simply functioning at the like best state possible for you.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. On that note, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, right, right, okay. Advice I'll give to my younger self. That would be take your time. I've always rushed. I've
Mm.
always rushed things. I've always wanted, I suppose, impulsive in my thoughts when I was younger. And I didn't appreciate things that happened, positive things. Like I said, as an athlete, I was high achieving, and I've even with business now, I'll come to that in a second. I achieved things, but I wasn't present in the moment with it. I didn't appreciate it.
I totally understand.
And that's the same with, I've only really started learning this. It's taken me some time. And you know what? It's even with when I won the National Diversity Award, it's, for me, that was just, I mean, it was an absolute honour and a pleasure. But for me, it's like, I know my world when I go, my future goal. I know where I want my company to be, long-term goal. I know where I want to be, long-term goal. For me, it's just, that was just another tick. I've taken another step towards my goal. But, right, okay, you've achieved something massive, but take a moment, let it sink in. And that's something I haven't done. And I regret it a little bit. But again, it's a lesson to me. Okay, I know I haven't done it, but now I'm sort of to really sit back and appreciate things that happen, taking my time. Just take your time and be present, and being present in the moment with your achievements.
And I think that's like something that really, like, all of us need to like try and do more of, because we might have like, yes, we might have like all this hard work that needs to be done by a certain time, but like after every achievement or every like success, it's about then learning to celebrate. Because then if like, let's say that I've just like I've passed a huge milestone for me and my business, and I don't even take time to celebrate it, then it kind of, not only does it like drop the whole like vibration of like the whole team as well, but then it also doesn't like give you the fuel power to then go and tackle the next obstacle, really. So then by taking that time and just showing like gratitude for the people around you and just appreciating and being in the moment, simply like it helps like actually propel you forward to want to achieve more.
Yeah, and again, it's showing gratitude to yourself as well, Trey, isn't it? I think that's most important. Is showing gratitude to yourself, and then obviously and others around you as well.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually, it's just really important in like just in life as a whole, because if you don't take the time to then look after yourself, you can't, it will feel like a lot harder to then go outside to help others.
Yeah, I totally agree, because in our line of work, we help people, don't we? And we've got people, we put people's needs, sometimes people's needs before ours, because we want to help them achieve their goals. But again, you need to really listen to obviously what you're feeling as well.
Yeah, it's about like, it's good to like push yourself to limits, but it's about then knowing exactly what that limit is. Because if you we're all familiar with the saying, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you're not at a state like just like in like emotionally, physically, spiritually able to then fuel yourself, then how are you then going to motivate others to do the same?
Absolutely, I totally agree with that.
Could you like share some advice to, let's say that someone started a brand new business or just like tried something new for the first time and they're already starting to give up? What advice would you give to them?
Okay, so what we talked about earlier is, if you're starting up a business, what is your purpose for the business? What do you want to achieve from it? Okay, it should never just be about money.
Yeah.
That is, obviously we need to earn a living. It's your business, you want to have an impact on something. What is the purpose of your business? What do you want to have an impact on? So I think you really need to establish that first. And then obviously then forecast that. We need to, I think the best thing to do is have it visual. So you're reminded of your goal or your goals and your stepping stones.
Yeah.
But I think that is really important. I think that is when you're starting up a business, that is just a basic fundamental starting point. Another one, again, which we discussed before, is again having that team around you, to help you, support you, even if the business is very small and you don't need any people working for you yet. But again, it's just having a team around you, or just a friend or family who you can share ideas with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have fun with it. If you're starting a business, it should be, you should enjoy it. Yeah, business. I know business is stressful. It can get very stressful, but you start a business from passion because you're starting up a business because you want to have an impact on something. You want to inflict change on something. Yes, whatever it is. So if you're starting up a clothing brand, you want to design clothes to help people look good, feel good. Yeah, if you're starting up a nutrition company like a supplement, okay, you're providing supplements to help people feel better or helping people to recover. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be an impact to your business.
Totally. And I think that's like really important, like the first point which you made there about not chasing the money, but chasing the impact and the passion.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have a passion for what you do, number one, that will come across and people can just sense that there's something off about you. Number two, then you won't feel that like sensation to actually get up every morning to do what you do. And lastly, it won't have as much of an impact or even bring in as much money as you'd like it to, because it's not something that it's not something that is unique to you and that you actually care for.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Could you like share with us what are your views on the word legacy and what legacy you'd like to leave?
Say that again. Sorry, what was it? My views on
Your views on the word legacy and what legacy you'd like to leave.
I mean, legacy. It's a big word, isn't
it? Yeah.
I mean, legacy is for me is leaving a footprint behind. Okay, by me leaving a footprint behind, it's known that I've had impact. What was the second part to that question? Sorry, Trey.
What legacy would you like to leave?
What legacy I'd like to leave? I would like, obviously with my company Activation, I would like to leave or plant a company, an established company, which is known to provide multiple services to society to help children's well-being and families' well-being. Again, it's just about bringing people. With where I'm going with my company is just bringing people together, bringing professionals together, creating a hub of professionals. So when people come to the company, it's like, okay, where can I find this professional? Where can I find that professional? What can help? Who can help me with this issue, or who can help me to promote this? So again, it's just creating a hub of people, hub of professionals.
And I think that's like really important, because then if you have like that so-called like go-to page, then you're not only able to increase the amount of impact that you have, but then also as a result of like having that impact, you're then able to reach out to like different people from all different backgrounds and actually change their lives.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, nice. That's exactly that, Trey. I mean, one of my goals is I eventually, and I've talked to you about this before, is having a TV show.
Yeah.
That is one of my long-term goals, is having a fitness and a cooking show for children. So that is, for me, it's like the more people I can reach out to, again, it's about impact. Yeah. I mean, look at Joe Wicks, for example. He's done this PE with Joe.
Yeah.
And he's impacted so many, and he's taken on a massive role in the nation, and he's done a fantastic job. Like some other celebrities and athletes, they've all contributed as well. But what we need is consistency. Okay, when this pandemic's over, or when it's calmed down, who is still going to be present?
Yeah.
Working with the kids consistently. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing it since I was 15. Yeah, this is what I do. This is what I live to do. So I know I'm not gonna do it. But it's for me. It's too big of a job for me to do by myself. So this is where obviously where we need more athletes, more celebrities, that needs more people committed to the cause, not when things come up. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's not like a negative to anybody out there. I'm just stating facts. We need more people on the calls. Yeah, there's some fantastic programs out there, but they just run every now and then. We need consistency, and that's what I've been doing throughout the years, and I do see myself. I want to be, and I will be that role model for children and young people in the health, fitness, and wellbeing industry, and that's what I'm striving to be.
And I think that's like really important, because then if you're like consistently showing up, let's say every week or maybe every 2 weeks, then it gives people something to look forward to, and also it then encourages people to share it more, because let's say that you're posting just every now and then whenever you feel like it kind of like hits them by surprise. But then having that consistency, it then encourages them to not only interact with, let's say, the post or video that you've uploaded, but then it also urges them to share it, because if you're consistently popping up over and over again, just throughout conversations and things like that, you'll constantly pop up when they might say, oh, do you know someone who's in this field, or blah, blah, blah. That way they then you have an imprint on them, and then that way they can too share your message.
Absolutely. Touche.
Yeah. Lastly, could you like share with the listeners where they can find out about any upcoming things you may have?
Right. Okay. So we've got social media platforms. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's Activation. So it's ACTIV8ION. Activation, fitness, health, well-being. And the new website is nearly ready. So still under construction. It's activation.co.uk. So they're the main platforms. Also, you can find my book on all platforms. That's A Step to Activation, Volume 1. So it's a children's activity book, children's wellbeing activity book. So within the book, there's elements which promote a positive well-being, and we're even looking at factors which can affect a child's well-being as well. So it's a professional development, a personal development book for kids.
That's absolutely amazing. I really do urge you listeners to go and buy a copy of Ben's book. We have a copy as well, and it's absolutely amazing. We've read it a number of times. And Ben, I'd like to thank you for coming on the Influence Show today. I really did enjoy it.
Well, thank you for having Trey. You're amazing. You inspire me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And also thank you to you listeners for tuning in today. And as always, if you guys missed out anything, feel free to rewind it. And if you too would like to have the chance to be featured on the Influencer Show, be sure to email the email that should be popping up on the screen. And I hope you guys have a great day. That's it from me. Bye.